Night only on CBS 12 News, heartbreak and horror.
I lost my house.
The life they knew, gone in an instant.
Felt like Judgment Day.
The Bahamas, decimated by Dorian. Now survivors of the storm are telling their stories as they set foot here in our area.
Welcome to Florida.
The sorrow, the suffering, and the struggle.
So many people lost everything, including their lives.
CBS 12 News at 11 starts right now. Good evening, everyone. I'm Liz Kidantis. Thank you for joining us. We will have those incredible stories of survival from the Bahamians in just a few minutes. You don't want to miss that story. But we begin with this breaking news. The death toll climbing to 30 in the Bahamas, with fears it could soar. We have live team coverage tonight from the urgent rescue and relief efforts underway to where Dorian is wreaking havoc right now. We start with my co-anchor Jim Grimes live on a cruise ship headed for the Bahamas right now. Jim?
Liz, I'm on the deck of the Grand Celebration, and if you look in the very far distance, that is the West Palm Beach skyline tonight. It's a beautiful, quiet evening out here. You can see the moon. We set sail about 20 minutes ago. We left the port. On this ship, important people, rescuers, first responders, a team of medical staff. They are all headed to the Bahamas, to the Grand Bahama, to make sure that the people there have their very first full load of supplies and medical equipment, all of that that's needed to take care of this emergency that's taking place there. We're going to talk to the CEO. I'm going to bring you in over here now. This is O'Neill, and give us your last name. It's Koska?
Kosa, K-H-O-S-A.
Okay, and O'Neill, you have helped to organize all of this at the spur of the moment, if you will.
Yes, it was at the spur of the moment, and actually we got delayed for departure. We couldn't keep up with the supplies coming in. We got supplies from all over the state today. We got so much water on the ship. We got food, we got doctors, we got firefighters, we got first responders. It's amazing. It's amazing. We are just overwhelmed with the response from the community. It's unbelievable.
We were talking earlier, this ship is going to be very welcome when it enters Freeport tomorrow morning.
I think more than that, personally to us as Bahamas Paradise Cruise Line, I think we will bring in hope for the Bahamians. They will know that there's the first ship that came in with supplies so that people out there are thinking about us. Mm-hmm. I think that's the most critical part for us, that they get a sense of hope. We will try to accomplish a lot tomorrow because there's a lot of qualified people on the ship. There's a very large marine salvage company on board. They're going to check their waters and everything else.
There's also a lot of Bahamians who actually were riding the storm out in South Florida are also on this ship. They're going to be heading back to their homes for the first time.
Correct. And as a cruise line, we felt this was the right thing to do, because we had already canceled our cruises, but we said no. We got to go, we got to help the Grand Bahama, because for Bahamas Paradise Cruise Line, Grand Bahama is home for us. And what is also very critical is that there's a lot of Americans and Bahamians on the island of Grand Bahama who are looking to be evacuated or rescued. So this would be their first option or way out. Tomorrow.
So they will be getting on this ship eventually, and thank you, by the way. Terrific. We're going to be with them throughout the weekend, possibly, as this all unfolds. There are also a lot of them will be coming back to the United States. Are you expecting a number? Can you tell us how many?
We don't know. As you know, we just opened the ship to everybody, because in this hour of need, we were not focused on who's coming or who's not coming. We said anybody who wants to assist Grand Bahama, get on the ship. And similarly in Grand Bahama, obviously there's a limit. We cannot carry more than 1,900 people. We really don't know. But at least whoever wants to get out tomorrow from Grand Bahama, they have an option.
Okay, so much uncertainty as we make our way to the Bahamas. I've got to tell you, there is loads and loads of supplies that have been loaded on this ship. All of them came from the community. I mean, businesses, restaurants, grocery stores, everyday people donating water and supplies. They were loaded onto the cargo hold of this boat, and they're going to be delivered there at some point. I know we also have Thomas Forster. He's joining us live over at the port now with more on the amazing effort by our community. Thomas?
Yeah, Jim, here at the Port of Palm Beach, as you mentioned, water, supplies just loaded on that boat that you're on, the Grand Celebration. Now, in just a few minutes, by tomorrow, another ship, the Grand Classica, will leave port as well, again loaded with supplies, headed to the Bahamas. Now, right here, this is where a lot of stuff that if you're interested in dropping stuff off and helping the people of Bahamas, you can drop off here. Now, officials tell me there's still plenty of supplies that is needed, and they're all housed right there in that warehouse. Now, if you'd like to help out, just come on down to 6000 Broadway. You can just turn on the access road by the FPL power plant, follow it around until it dead ends. Now, for most of us, we've seen the video of some sort of video or the glimpses of pictures of the devastation that Hurricane Dorian went through and left in the Bahamas. Well, they need everything. And if you would like to help out, some of the most important items that they're looking for are listed right here. You can see they need canned goods. They need everything from building supplies to hygiene products as well. And also they need blankets, baby food, diapers, and anything else that you could probably think of. They are in desperate need of getting it. Now, of course, you can drop off the goods right here at the Port of Palm Beach beginning at 9 o'clock tomorrow. It runs right through until 3 o'clock. Again, the Grand Classica will be loaded up with supplies, just like the Grand Celebration that Jim is on that you saw is already embarked and already on the way to the Bahamas. They'll be leaving here tomorrow, again, with loaded supplies. We'll keep you updated, of course, throughout the day as this continues to develop. But until then, reporting live tonight in Riviera Beach at the Port of Palm Beach, I'm Thomas Forster, CBS 12 News.
Thank you, Thomas and Jim. Desolate families with nothing left are now leaving their homeland, many with nothing but the clothes on their backs. Today, a group of Bahamians arrived in Palm Beach County looking for some way to move forward. CBS 12's Lexi Nall spoke with some of those survivors. She joins us live in the studio with this story you'll see only on CBS 12 News. And this is such an emotional and heart-wrenching story, Lexi.
That's right. For 3 days, these people endured the unimaginable force of a Category 5 hurricane. But they would probably tell you it felt more like a never-ending nightmare. Well, tonight, a brave group of women and children rescued from Abaco shared their stories of survival with me.
There's no running water, and there's nothing sterile. You can't wash your hands. You can't use the bathroom. There's dead bodies everywhere. The water's contaminated.
Avidia Neely says like most of Abaco Island, her hometown, Marsh Harbor, is now devastated beyond recognition.
You go outside and it's like you're lost. You don't even recognize your own neighborhood anymore.
She arrived in West Palm Beach on a relief flight today with a group of women and children who were all in different places when Dorian began ravaging the Bahamas on Sunday, but ended up here together. They each endured the same horror at the hands of Mother Nature.
We're just running. People were separated from the family, so it was crazy. But I slept in the liquor store for 3 days, on the floor, in the water. It was awful.
Why were you sleeping in there?
Because I had nowhere to go. I lost my house, so I had to run from room to room, run across my neighbor's house, and run from there.
We went back to my house. The glass broke.
You were in your house and the glass broke.
My mommy, the glass fly my mommy's face is going out eye. And it's that
Little AJ rode out the storm in his mother's arms, but many say they lost their families in the chaos, holding on to cabinets and hiding in broom closets, just praying they would see their loved ones again.
I had to just keep driving around asking people to find, have they seen my mom, because her house is blown away, so I thought that she was gone.
And though the storm has passed, most no longer feel safe on the islands they once called home.
I walked in the streets the day after, and there were like looting. People were going into the stores, taking guns. People are becoming desperate now, so what they're doing is they're trying to rob people to get water, supplies. So it's just like it's in a crazy mode, like people are all desperate right now.
But the past 5 days will be difficult to forget.
All that judgment is like, I'm afraid to close my eyes. Like every time I hear a piece of wind, I feel like it's like I'm back in the storm again.
Well, Nick Mastriani, the owner of Harborside, chartered that relief flight that they came in on tonight, and he tells me that their businesses all got together and donated some meals for those refugees, and they're now staying comfortably in a Harborside Place hotel.
Wow. I mean, you can hear in her voice the terror that they went through. Even that little boy, he's so tiny, what he went through. And he's going to remember that for the rest of his life.
You know, Liz, I think that's really the thing. The trauma is just setting in now. You know, they're finally to safety. And I think the way they described it to me, they were in survival mode for so long. And all you think about in that time, the way they described it, is living to see another day, you know?
Right.
So now I really think that that aftershock is setting in.
It's going to set in. All right. Great story. Thank you, Lexi.